Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Thursday, 21st day of February. Here we go. Today we're going to just do the law of Chazaras Hashatz, the repetition of the Shmona Esrei. At first, long ago, it was instituted by the rabbis way back in the time of the Talmud. It was instituted for those who were unable to daven. What they then did was they had the Shliach Tzibur, the Chazan, repeat it over for anyone in the shul who wasn't able to say the Shmona Esrei himself. They would answer Amen, and thereby they would fulfill their requirement. Nowadays, that custom is still in place. It was instituted to stay, and it's mandatory right down to today, even though oftentimes you can be in a shul where there's no one in the shul who needs the repetition of the Shmona Esrei. All the people there knew what they were doing, and yet it's kept as one set instituted rule that we do forever. Interestingly, the question arises, okay, if that's what we're doing, and the Chazan is saying the Shmona Esrei for all those people, why does the Chazan say the quiet Shmona Esrei with everyone else? Why doesn't he just wait around and say his Shmona Esrei out loud for everyone else to fulfill the mitzvah? And one common answer, seriously, that's given by the rabbis, is that the Chazan says his quiet Shmona Esrei mostly as a practice so that he gets his real loud Shmona Esrei all perfect. Yes, really, that's the real reason, according to some, for the Chazan to say the quiet Shmona Esrei. It makes for some interesting situations. Like, for example, let's say it was Rosh Chodesh, and the Chazan in his quiet Shmona Esrei forgot to say Yalav Yavo, and now he has to repeat Shmona Esrei. But he is going to repeat Shmona Esrei when he says it for the crowd. So the halacha is that he doesn't have to repeat his quiet Shmona Esrei because that was just a practice Shmona Esrei. And therefore, he now says the regular Shmona Esrei, of course, with Yalav Yavo in it, out loud. And he'll only actually say one Shmona Esrei, and that's the appropriate thing to do. Of course, if it's in Marav that he forgot, when there isn't a repetition of the Shmona Esrei, then of course he'll have to repeat his Shmona Esrei later, after Aleinu, so that he doesn't hold up the whole congregation. And one more law that goes along with this, because it's a practice, that would make this law now take effect. When the Chazan says his quiet Shmona Esrei, and he usually davens, let's say, Nusach Sfard, but if he's going to be saying Shmona Esrei out loud in Nusach Ashkenaz style because of the congregation that's in front of him, so the halacha is that he should say his quiet Shmona Esrei in the same Nusach as the one that's going to be said for the shul, because otherwise it's not really a good practice. So when he says his quiet Shmona Esrei, he repeats it in the same Nusach that's going to be said by the shul. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.